What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I would like to welcome you all to another edition of Wayne's Perspective, where we operate in discipline, decency, integrity, and respect. And I'm coming through with another video just for you. Before I get started, I hope everyone is doing okay out there, taking every day one day at a time, living life the best way you know how. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain too much over here. I'm also taking every day one day at a time, living life the best way I know how as well. And before I get to today's video, I just want to share a couple of things with everyone. I do apologize for not being as consistent with my videos recently. I know when it comes to these 30-year retrospectives, I try to be precise as possible, especially when it comes to the corresponding dates. However, as I record this about a week or so ago, I had a couple of events take place in my personal life. I'm not going to go into those here, but all you need to know is that I'm doing pretty good. And like I said at the beginning, I'm taking every day one day at a time and living life the best way I know how as well. Also, from a professional standpoint, things are going well at work. And even though I haven't talked about politics in quite some time on my channel, I just want to say that I'm proud of my state of Virginia for going back to the blue where it should be. The governor's race, the lieutenant governor's race, the attorney general's race, and picking up additional seats in the House of Delegates. All of this made me smile. I'm glad my state is back blue. I hope it remains blue, especially when it's time for me to start my first campaign in either 2027 or 2029. All I'm going to say on that is stay tuned. And with all that being said, it is now time to get into today's video, which is going to be a 30-year retrospective celebrating and commemorating the Dogg Pound's Death Row debut, Dog Food, which was released on October 31st, 1995. And if you're a longtime fan such as myself, I'm assuming that the first time you heard the Dogg Pound, that nigga Daz, and Corrupt Young Gotti was on Dr. Dre's Chronic album. They had some dope, memorable contributions on that album. Then they also had some memorable contributions on Snoop's Doggy Style album, as well as the Above the Rim soundtrack and the Murder Was the Case soundtrack. So naturally, when 1995 arrived, all eyes were on these brothers' debut. And of course, when I think back to 1995, at the time this came out, Death Row was still sitting on top of the hip hop world, even if, unbeknownst to most fans, they was going through a lot of turmoil and tension behind the scenes. And even though 1992, 1993, and 1994 were successful years at the label, 1995 was no different. And of course, this would be the year that Daz and Corrupt would come through with their long-awaited debut album, Dog Food, but not without some unfortunate setbacks, along with heavy attention and scrutiny from the media and the government at this point. And y'all know what they was trying to do to hip hop at this point in time, you know. And hip hop does not get that level of attention nowadays, but back in the 90s, it was at a fever pitch. And I've talked about it before on my channel. And again, if you've been a longtime fan such as myself, y'all know about what happened with the government and C. Dolores Tucker, Dionne Warwick, and everybody who had all kinds of issues with hip hop and the lyrical content. Another thing that I want to mention is that, of course, my favorite Source magazine issue, the 1995 year in review issue, and on June 19th of 1995, they said, quote unquote, due to pressure, Time Warner postponed the release of the Dogg Pound's debut album, Dog Food. So, of course, that postponement led to the October 31st, 1995 release date. So, all this being said, with all this history and everything in between, it's now finally time to get to the album. All songs was produced by Daz except where noted. And we're going to go ahead and get right into it, starting with song number one, the intro, of course. Welcome. We have been expecting you. I wanted to touch on this because I always liked Death Row intros back in the day. Y'all know what I'm talking about, like we always do about this time. And not only does this set the tone for what's to come, but you couldn't mistake their albums for anyone else's at this point. And even today, when you hear that, you know you're about to listen to a Death Row release. And speaking of setting the tone, that takes us right into song number two, Dogg Pound Gangsters. Simply put, I love this song. I got the right to serve your ass when you heading to school, cause I'm that nigga Daz bitch and I'm a fucking fool. Don't peel my head, nigga. Killers don't speak. Come out the woodworks on your ass, then nigga start the street. I love this joint. It's just such a high-powered, aptly titled opener with such a banger of a track. And that's putting it mildly. Daz, he came through with a nice verse, but it was Corrupt who really shined on this one. And trust and believe when I said this will not be the last time that Corrupt wouldn't shine on here. I mean, he was absolutely incredible throughout this album, and lyrically, this album is probably the best thing that he's ever done. And I'm talking about over his solo work and anything else. As far as I'm concerned, this is Corrupt at his peak, and I'm going to talk about that more as I get into it. And speaking of Corrupt, apparently his line "Ain't Got No Love for No Hoes in Harmony" was a not so subtle shot at Bone Thugs-n-Harmony, who was also hot in 1995 as well. And I can imagine that whatever beef they had at the time, it ended with the untimely passing of Eazy-E this same year. But overall, y'all, this is classic material to start with, and a hell of a dope song. 5 out of 5. Number 3, we move on to Respect, and there was some additional vocals from Prince Ital, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Dr. Dre, who mastered this album, and you can tell that he was behind it. He introduces another banger. Daz and Corrupt, their chemistry is on full display here, and again, that wouldn't be the last time on this album. Definitely a classic, and of course, not only did I like the Prince words at the end, but also how he continued with the instrumental still playing in the background. It wouldn't be the last time for that on this album either. Another 5 out of 5 song. Next up, we have song number 4, the infamous, depending on your perspective, New York, New York, which was a Corrupt solo track, but it also had Snoop on the hook, and this was produced by DJ Pooh. Now, talk about a song that's still controversial to this day, 30 years later, and I'm sure it's still somewhat of a sour subject for most heads on the East Coast, and this was at a time when that East Coast, West Coast nonsense was really starting to take off for all of the wrong reasons. I'm going to talk about this one, y'all, so just bear with me. Like I said during the previous 2 songs, Corrupt is simply incredible here. And this song had one of his finest performances ever on the mic. There's no doubt in that. And DJ Pooh, his production was the icing on this West Coast cake. Now that's one side. Now let's get to the other side. Like I mentioned, it was around this time that highly publicized East Coast, West Coast beef, even though it was never a beef, it was beginning to rear its controversial, ugly head at this point. And this song, it added more fuel to the proverbial fire, directly or indirectly. And again, that's depending on your view. And the video, y'all know the video. I'm sure y'all have seen it quite a few times. It was equally controversial because it had Daz, Corrupt, and Snoop as larger than life figures in New York, and they were sitting upon some historic landmarks. And Snoop, most memorably, was kicking over buildings allegedly as a response for their trailer being shot at in New York while they were shooting the video. And I believe they was shooting this video, which is when that shooting at the trailer took place. If I'm incorrect on that, y'all let me know, but I believe it was the video shoot for this New York, New York video. Now, with hindsight being 2020, there's a couple of ways we can look at this. Number one, you can say that the crew felt that they were so on top of the world at this point, and they were, that they could go to a place like New York and assert their dominance. Number two, you can say that this was an immediate shot at the New York hip hop scene specifically and the East Coast in general. Now, Corrupt would later say that they had mad love for New York and this was not a diss record. Now, some people may agree with that, other people may disagree with that. Even still to this day, I'm not even sure where I stand on it, because if you listen to the song, it doesn't come off as a diss, but the video itself showed something different, quite literally. Now, this song, it also would spark LA, LA, that classic song by Capone and Noriega and Mobb Deep and Tragedy Gaddafi, not too long after this. So if anybody was going to respond, it was them. And y'all know the story about Jay-Z saying it was like New York's been soft ever since Snoop came through and crushed the buildings. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day and a whole nother video. But overall, man, to this day, I'm pretty sure everyone familiar with this time in hip hop have their views on it. But on the flip side, you can't deny how good of a song this is. And I give it a 5 out of 5. And if you keep in track, you take out the intro, that's 3 straight 5 out of 5 rated songs, which puts Dog Food in elite status in my view. Next up, we have song number 5, which was another Corrupt solo joint. This one was titled Smooth, also produced by DJ Pooh. Snoop was on this one, and the late Jewel was on this one too. And rest in peace to Jewel. She passed away in May of 2022. Corrupt, Snoop, and Jewel were Death Row Smooth on this one. And Miss Jewel, she always came through good on these hooks. And that's one thing I missed about her. You always knew what you was getting when she was on these hooks, and this one was no different. It's a pretty good song all around, including another incredible verse by Corrupt, which closed this song in tight fashion. I give this one 4 out of 5. Song number 6, Psycho Like No, featuring Snoop and Mr. Malik, aka Hershey Low. I see through you, but you can't see me. I see through you also clearly. Y'all know what I'm talking about. This was another slice of some pretty good West Coast material. Daz and Corrupt, they brought some tight verses to the table. But Mr. Malik, he almost stole the show here with his closing verse, similar to what he did on Snoop's Pump Pump from the Doggy Style album. It's just that good. And this song, probably not better than Pump Pump, but still up there on that level. And I give this one 5 out of 5. Continuing on, we got song number 7, Riding, Slipping, and Sliding, with additional vocals by South Central. This was co-produced by Dave Swang. This is what I would call a day or days in the life of Daz and Corrupt, and I'm sure you know what that entails. Surviving and maintaining. 4 out of 5 for this song. Next up, we have song number 8, Big Pimpin' 2. Big Pimpin', he came through with some quote-unquote pimp talk for us all, with a laid-back, lovely dance production in the background. And we move on from there. We get to song number 9, Let's Play House, featuring the late Nate Dogg and Michelle A. Now, one thing that I say about this song is that with or without the sexually charged lyrics, I'm sure the ladies still like this one. I had no problem with it at the time, and I still don't. Then again, you could expect a song like this on a Death Row release. And also, Warren G, he had a verse here that was cut for a still unknown reason. If y'all know what that reason is, let me know in the comments. But still to this day, I'm still not sure what the reason was behind his verse being cut. Overall, I get a song a 5 out of, no, not a 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5 for Let's Play House. Song number 10, I Don't Like to Dream About Getting Paid. This also featured Nate Dogg on the hook. Now, in this song, an appropriately titled one, Daz and Corrupt, they talk mostly about getting paid, of course, by any means, even if that means getting that paper the wrong way, but still realizing they got moves to make in the process. That quote-unquote mission to get paid is fully realized, and I'm sure most of you listening to this can relate to that, especially in a positive light. And I also give credit to Daz for that nice sample of Lionel Richie's Love Will Find a Way. Definitely a decent song. I give it 4 out of 5. Next up, we have song number 11, Do What I Feel, featuring the Lady of Rage. In a word, dope. Daz and Corrupt, as usual, they came through with some tight verses here, but man, the Lady of Rage, who was also underrated then and now, she closed this one with such a tight verse, and it was one of the many reasons why, again, she was so underrated on the mic, and it seemed like she had more to bring as the song came to an abrupt end, but I still give it a 5 out of 5. It's just that good, y'all. And next up, we got a little intimate intermission, or should I say a double intimate intermission, starting with song number 12, If We All F Word. Y'all know what I'm talking about, featuring Snoop. If the ladies like Let's Play House, I'm not sure how they felt or feel about this one, because this song is the complete opposite of that one, oddly enough. And of course, I never advocated for quote unquote passing chicks around, but without taking this song too seriously, you can chalk this one up to the crew just having fun in their own unique ways. And if you think real hard, you know exactly what I'm talking about without me having to go into any additional analysis on the subject matter. But the song as it stands, it gets a 3 out of 5. Let's move on. Next up, we have another song featuring Snoop. This one is called Some Bomb AP, and I'm pretty sure you know what AP stands for. I don't have to say it. And the title right there, it tells you all you need to know about this song, and it's quite the follow-up to the previous song, even if it was about 2 minutes too long. I don't have much more to say about it, so let's continue on with the bangers, shall we? Oh, and Some Bomb AP, 3 out of 5. That may be overrating it, but it's all good. Let's continue on. Song number 14, A Dog's Day Afternoon. Simply put, just like a few other songs on this album, no, several other songs on this album, I love this one. And normally I would advocate that certain songs should be a little longer or shorter than others, but if there ever was a song where the 2 minutes and 46 seconds was the perfect time, this was it. Corrupt, he owns this one with 2 verses over a dope Daz production. And as a matter of fact, this may be one of my favorite Daz beats right here. Probably one of my top 5 Daz beats. I love this joint, and every time I play it, I just gotta crank the volume up so high. I listen to this one with the lyrics and I listen to the instrumental as well. I mean, I love this joint right here. Most likely when I finish this review, I'm probably gonna play it and play it twice too. Dope song. 5 out of 5. Then we get into another dope song, number 15, Reality, featuring Trey D. And y'all know Trey D, 1/3 of the East Siders with Goldie Loc and Snoop Dogg. This was co-produced by Emmanuel Porkchop Dean. Now, there's nowhere for me to turn, there's nowhere for me to hide from reality. And this hook, it accurately describes this song, a banger, and that theme is very present here with a West Coast state of mind. Trey D, he came through with a verse that's just as dope as the verses from Daz and Corrupt, and I can't forget how the instrumental just rides out the remaining 2 minutes and 34 seconds of the song, and of course, I love it. 5 out of 5. Like Corrupt said, and all eyes on me, but I won't change sides because what I represent till I die. No question. Continuing on, song number 16, One by One. This one had a little bit of a freestyle vibe to it, but it's still very, very good. 5 out of 5. One by one, we'll start to subtract and see how many motherfuckers got your back. Cause when it come down to it, we out the clown. It's them dog pound gangsters putting it down. Yes, sir. And speaking of putting it down, we come to the final song on the album and a highly dope way to close it. Song number 17, So Much Style. This one was produced by Superfly and Overdose. And this album, which is incredible, it started in a high-powered form, and naturally it will close in such a smooth way, and the instrumental just rides out for the last minute of the song. And like I said before, I love it. 5 out of 5 for this one. Wow, man. Like I just said a few moments ago, this is such an incredible album, and to say that it still holds up today would be a complete understatement. And continuing that momentum that Death Row had in 1995, Daz and Corrupt, they did not disappoint one bit with this debut. The production was on point, the guests, mostly in-house, made contributions where they fit, and they weren't out of place. And lyrically, while Daz was not too far behind, Corrupt was the star of this show, and he proved throughout this album that he liked to rap, and that was clear throughout this album. On nearly every song, he was great. Furthermore, remember that hype that I was talking about at the beginning and the delayed release thanks to Time Warner? Well, that delay didn't hurt this album at all, and it moved 277,500 units in its first week, and eventually it hit that double platinum mark, and deservedly so. The album has always been a personal favorite of mine, and I'm still surprised that the Source magazine didn't include it as one of 1995's best albums. I think I may have an idea as to why they didn't include it, probably due to all of the controversy that was going on at the time, but make no mistake about it, this is an album that I highly would recommend. And previously I gave it 5 mics, but looking back on it from an objective lens, even with the nostalgia, I give it a respectable 4.5 mic rating. Now, nostalgia wise, it is 5 mics, but if I'm being objective here, it is 4.5 mics. But then again, if you take out If We All, F Word, and some bomb AP, it probably would be 5 mics. But overall, man, I love this album, Daz and Corrupt. Much love and props to you, as well as everybody else who had a hand in it. Never gets old. It still holds up today. I enjoyed doing this retrospective right here. I really did. And I would not be surprised if once I finish recording and once I do my edits, I'm going to throw this album on. And what's the first song I'm going to throw on? A Dog Day Afternoon. No question about it. Man, with all that being said, if you like what you heard and you're ready to become part of Team Discipline, go ahead and hit that like button and drop some comments if you're feeling the content. Definitely let me know your thoughts about this album specifically and Daz and Corrupt in general. And also another thing that I want to mention is stay tuned because I am going to do a 30-year retrospective for GZA's Liquid Swords, which is a personal top 10 favorite album of mine, and Eric Sermon's Double or Nothing album. They're going to be coming real soon. And last but not least, hit that subscribe button along with the bell so you're notified when I drop new videos. And until next time, my people, take care of yourselves and remember, like we always do about this time, I'll see y'all on the next video.